Dozens of Tulsa motorcycle riders are hitting the road today in style, all for a good cause. News on 6's Eden Jones is live with more on today's Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, where motorcycles and men's health is taking center stage. Eden.
It's going to be a beautiful Sunday. I'm excited. I think I'm going to go for a walk this afternoon.
Good.
So
Get
my
some
first walk of the summer. I hate to admit that, but I'm going to get some exercise.
At least 27 girls are still missing in Kerr County, where Camp Mystic was slammed by the historic floodwaters. The damage here is catastrophic. Take a look at this brick that I'm holding that's come from on top of this building here. Now, if you can follow me, people have already started lining up for the first day of school here at Barnsdall Public Schools. And check this out. I've met some friends here this morning. I have Addie, Allie, Hunter, and Laney. The water from Lake Waxahoma is still blocking the roadway here in Barnsdall tonight. Mayor Johnny Kelly says they've had a water pump running for the past 13 days, trying to keep the water level down because of the heavy rains. The State Department of Education plans to meet today, and there's expected to be a peaceful protest outside surrounding the issue of immigration. News on 6's Jonathan Polasic is live with why folks are upset. Jonathan. Coweta police say 2 people are dead following a murder-suicide. Investigators say the couple's children found their parents, who had been shot, in the bathroom of their home. First, here at noon, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt is unveiling a nearly $13 billion state budget for 2026. Thanks for joining us. I'm MaKayla Glenn. The Ramirez family says they love everything about living in Coweta except for the water issues. They say their water is often a yellow or brown color, even though city leaders say it's safe to drink. It's that time of year when people start to head out to our local rivers to kayak, and that's why camp officials reached out for help to locate as many of these as possible. Take a look at this. You can barely even see my feet here. A lot of snow. It's very thick as well. See, it's taken me a while to even get to the ground there. And someone even decided to make a snowman here overnight. So someone's had some fun. Now, if you walk with me, I'm going to show you again. This is the trail here on Riverside. Actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry's latest movie, The 6888, sheds light on the only battalion of all-black women stationed in Europe during World War II.
At that time, when she was telling us about it, I couldn't even imagine.
Donetta Stark's aunt was one of the 855 women sent to Europe with the task of delivering a backlog of nearly 17 million pieces of mail to U.S. soldiers and their families. They were a part of the 6888 Central Postal Directory Battalion.
And I watched the movie. I said, oh, that's what Aunt Allie was in.
Sergeant Allie Williams, or Aunt Allie, as Donetta called her, had a joyous, energetic, and adventurous personality, and an even bigger heart.
She just went about doing things for the people in her community. And it seemed that, most of the people in the small town of Colbert, Oklahoma, loved her.
The Colbert native often shared stories with her family about her military experience. But Donetta tells me it wasn't until the movie was released that she realized her aunt was a part of something big.
Even though I had heard her story about them sorting the mail and all of this, I really didn't think too much about it at the time.
17 women in this battalion were from Oklahoma. The women endured a dangerous trip across rough seas, worked long shifts in rat-infested warehouses, and faced both racism and sexism in a war zone.
They had to be very strong, determined women to go through what they had to go through.
When there is no mail, there is low morale. But all that said, this is our mission, and we will not fail.
The women made history by ensuring service members received letters from their loved ones.
It really kind of brought tears to my eyes to think that she made it under those circumstances.
The sacrifice was worth it because this battalion knew how much the soldiers needed support.
I think she would want everyone to know that they did it for the purpose of making things better.
Donetta says her Aunt Allie served her country with pride and would be shocked that their story made it to the big screens.
I think she would just say, oh my goodness, They making a movie about us. I just can't believe it.
It's known as the Pharmacy on the Hill. Westview Pharmacy sits on the corner of 36th Street North and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
I live in the neighborhood, and it's a monumental place to go to for health care and pharmacy needs.
Gary Morton has come here all his life and says it's never a dull moment when he stops by.
This is where to come. See Mr. Bobby. He's a great man.
Chief pharmacist and owner Dr. Bobby Woodard tells me he's been blessed to be in the North Tulsa community for 40 years.
And we're just ecstatic and glad to still be here.
While this started out as Westview Pharmacy, 40 years later, it's now a thriving medical center with pediatric and primary care, counseling services, physical therapy, and more.
You didn't have a reaction to the shot last year, did you?
Bobby says the goal of the pharmacy was to be a one-stop shop for the community because there was and still is a great need for basic health care services in North Tulsa.
It started back in 1984. It was the dream of Dr. Lawrence Reed to have a medical clinic in North Tulsa, and he had the great idea there of getting 6 people together.
Out of those 6 doctors, he is one of 2 remaining.
It's been a labor of love. I love what I do for a living. I wake up every morning enthusiastic and ready to go to work.
Bobby cares about his patients so much that he makes home deliveries to those who can't get out and pick up their prescriptions.
A lot of the patients know me personally, and I just like to go out and interact and visit with them and make sure they're okay and happy with our services.
A happiness that continues a legacy of Black-owned businesses in this community.
This means a lot to everybody that grew up here.
Bobby says he hopes this legacy continues to impact the North Tulsa community for years to come. In Tulsa, MaKayla Glenn, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.